$550 billion in new federal investments over 5 years. That includes $40 billion to fix bridges, $39 billion for public transit, $66 billion in passenger and freight rail money, $65 billion for broadband. Even more noteworthy, it's expected to pass with a bipartisan vote. And yet, this will likely be a case of hurry up and wait. House Dems want to see an even more expensive so-called human infrastructure bill passed by the Senate before they take this one up in the House. And one of those House Democrats joins me now, Congressman Khanna from California. Congressman, thanks so much for being here. What's about to unfold?
Well, Michael, first of all, it's an extraordinary achievement for President Biden to get this bipartisan deal. It's going to deliver rural broadband, roads, bridges, airports. It's bipartisan, and many House Democrats will support it. But we will support it after we also have a reconciliation bill that has climate goals, that has renewable energy, that has actually fiber to rural, that has energy efficiency standards. That's equally important, and we want to get both done, and we will get both done.
How far are you prepared to go? Are you ready to stand in the way of this ongoing, meaning that it wouldn't even get through if you don't get what you're looking for?
Well, the Speaker's been very clear that this bill will get a vote once the reconciliation bill gets a vote. And the reason is because there are very important climate goals. There are very important goals on public transport. There are very important goals on childcare and community college in a broader bill. Look, this is Mitt Romney's bill. This is Rob Portman's bill. They didn't get elected president of the United States. We're not going to have 2 years where we have the Rob Portman agenda or Mitt Romney agenda. We're going to have the Joe Biden agenda. This is his achievement on a bipartisan bill, and we'll get the rest of his agenda, and we will pass it by the end of the year.
This bipartisan bill has overwhelming public support. I've seen numbers in the 70% range. I think that has to do with the perception of what is infrastructure. And by that, I mean this. I went to your website, and you, like many others, I do it, cite the American Society of Civil Engineers. And I think their most recent grade for our infrastructure is a C- in this country. But Congressman, I'm putting on the screen right now how they define, and I think how the public defines infrastructure: aviation, broadband, drinking water, levees, public parks, roads, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not the definition that you're using in the so-called human infrastructure bill. I guess my question is, do you think and can you justify widespread public support for what you're pushing for?
Yes, Michael, and there is part of the reconciliation I would say is infrastructure, the clean energy part. I do think having a smart grid, I do think renewable energy is modern infrastructure, but there are parts that I wouldn't call infrastructure. I'd call it human development, childcare, community college. But what I would argue is those policies are very, very popular. I'm not going to get into a semantic debate. I'm not going to say that we have to call community college infrastructure. Call it investing in the American people. The point is, it is needed in a 21st century economy. I can stand by all of the policies and reconciliation, and they're exceedingly popular as well.
The bipartisan bill, that which is about to get Senate approval, the one that we began this conversation by discussing, includes a big chunk of change for broadband. In 2019, you yourself were very concerned about gridlock precluding broadband getting approval. Let's all watch.
I'm very concerned for the country. Our competition is China. While they're investing in their country, we're at gridlock. We need an infrastructure bill to expand broadband to everyone, to invest in science and technology, and it's disappointing that we can't get that done.
Congressman, are you the one now who's going to contribute to gridlock by precluding the bipartisan bill from getting passed in the House?
Not at all. I love the broadband parts, but actually the reconciliation goes broader in broadband, because if you look at the infrastructure bill, it only has copper wires going to most of rural America. Jim Clyburn has a bill, the House bill, that actually would have fiber go to rural America because it's not as much of a handout to telecom. So I want to do broadband correctly, and that's what reconciliation does. That would ensure that the broadband I have in my district in Silicon Valley also is in rural communities, and we're getting fiber everywhere. So, look, I want to vote for the bipartisan deal. I will once we get the reconciliation deal. And I don't really view this as standing in the way. I fully expect Joe Biden's agenda will get through. It has popularity ratings over 70% for almost every provision. And I guess what is it that the Republicans are opposed to in reconciliation? Are they opposed to child care? Are they opposed to free community college? Are they opposed to giving seniors dental coverage and vision and hearing? These things pull off the charts. Let them be opposed to it. Let them run their election and not wanting to make those investments in the American people.
Congressman, it's going to be interesting to watch. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.